All pie is good pie.
Ogni operazione sotto copertura è una performance. La cosa è seria. Ogni arresto una standing ovation.
First of all, how's the pie?
How's the pie? All pie is good pie.
You are known for being the director of the truth of the real world, but this story is a somewhat true story. Do you believe there's more truth in what you have done previously, or in a somewhat true story?
When it comes to cinematic storytelling, I'm okay with a foundation of truth that becomes, a flight of fancy. That's what most of my films are. I met a girl once years ago and we walked around a town all night. That was the foundation of truth, but it became a movie before sunrise. You know what I mean? So it's okay. I think you want to be entertaining and tell a story that's compelling. And I don't know. And this film, Hitman, is kind of questioning what truth is anyway. It feels kind of an unstable proposition these days. Identity, truth. So it's in a kind of comic way. It's sort of taking on these notions, maybe.
Speaking about the movie, the main character says, become the fantasy, and he really is. His personality changes when he changes character. Have you ever been influenced by a movie that you were directing? Maybe you changed in that period of time.
Me?
Yeah.
Does a movie change you? No, I don't think so. I'm always wondered about this, like what changes you. I think it adds a lot to your life. It's maybe cathartic. You get something, you exercise out of your system, something you've been trying to do, and you mature or feel better. But I don't know. Change is a big word. I don't know if I don't think we appear to change. We feel like we change internally, but no one seems to notice. They think you're the same person, so it's still worth trying.
There's a line in the movie about change, and the main character doesn't believe that we are capable of change, but he changes. Or in your opinion, he was always like that in some ways?
Yeah, I think he does change for the better. He's becomes an example of his own thesis in a good way. But again, darkly comedic. There's two dead bodies, but for him to be happy and fulfilled in his destiny with her. So, but yeah, the whole film is a contemplation of that. He tells his class, pick the identity you want and be it with passion. And I like the notion of empowered people making decisions. What I'm more afraid of in the world is passive people just accepting misinformation and fictions coming at them. I think we need a more discerning, conscious public making decisions based on some kind of truth or what works for most people. So, I don't know.
The main character is really interested in human behavior and consciousness, and I feel that is something that you are really interested in too. But why cinema in your case? Why aren't you a psychologist, a novelist?
Yeah, I ask myself that all the time. Why did cinema choose? Why am I I could have exercised this area, but I wasn't quite academic enough, and I wasn't quite all these things. I didn't have the brain of a scientist, even though I'm interested in so many things. Cinema worked for me because it was an amalgamation of things I was interested in, plus all the technical, photography, writing. It was the creative arts meets things I'm interested in. It became my forum to explore ideas.
Each time I see the trilogy or Boyhood, I think about a line in Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick, when Alex Delage says that the colors of the real world become real only when we see them on the screen. And is it true for you? Is your entire career based on that line?
Maybe so. I think a lot of filmmakers have that personality that anything, Bergman talked about it, Fassbinder talked about it, and I know other filmmakers it's like seeing the world through a window. Like anything that's happening to me, I'm like, I have to express it in a story on a screen for it to then become real. Like, this isn't real, that's real. You know, and I feel that way about, like, life. Yeah, you can lie and manipulate life and make it work for you, but you can't lie in cinema. Like, that's where you put all your best. And that's not necessarily a good quality as a human being. A lot of, like, children of artists or actors say, oh, the best of them went into their art not being a good parent or being, you know, so it's not necessarily a good thing for an all-rounded person, but, you know, we all are who we are. I think being conscious of it is maybe the best thing you can be.
I love one line in this movie. I think that it could be material for really a self-help book, or at least a T-shirt.
Okay.
When they say, find someone fucked up in a way you like.
Yeah, fucked up in a way that works with you.
Do you really believe in this line?
I've been trying to get that line in a movie for a long time. I think I heard that or read it a long time ago. So I've been looking for the right moment to get that, because I do kind of believe that. Having been in relationships and like, okay, why isn't this? It's like, okay, if you know, it's hard to negotiate that space between people, like what makes something work. And you really do have to accept the worst qualities of your loved ones. That's what you have to do to be happier, stress-free in life. If you spend your life trying to change everyone around you, you're condemned to your own hell. You know, you'll never be satisfied. So I don't know. I'm pretty accepting of people, I think. I wish they were accepting of me.
And I know that everybody is asking about that, but you've said that you are maybe thinking about a fourth chapter of the trilogy, and I think that they will be grandparents, maybe.
Oh, right.
Yeah. What is them?
They're in their 50s now, so yeah, who knows?
Yeah. What would do you believe that it could be important to say about that stage of life when you are grandchildren? Yeah.
I think every stage of life is important and worth examining via cinema. I just know in the last film of that, Before Midnight, we found out, oh, it's harder to. It's just like, it was a nice metaphor for life. It's just harder to be older, to be as romantic, or to be, you know, even if you've gotten everything you wanted in life, there's still something a little harder about making it feel, you know, compelling or sexy or romantic, or that's what we had to make that film about. So getting older, I don't know. I like to think, meet a lot of really happy older people, and I just think they've run the course and kind of won, and they're on some kind of victory lap. I don't know what age that kicks in. I would like to bring it in as soon as possible to just feel kind of like, oh. But I meet a lot of happy older people. So maybe we'll meet Jesse and Selena in less conflicted, happy times. But then that's not very compelling cinema. You need some kind of, but I will make it compelling. But we'll have to get there. We're not there yet.
And then you can start again with their grandchildren.
Yeah, they can have their
cycle,
own.
yeah.
And then I'll hand the whole thing off to my children and grandchildren. Like, okay, take this and roll with it. So, no, I don't know.
It's easy to say that we love your cinema because your cinema is amazing. It's first class cinema. But and my outlet name is Movie Player. We love all cinema, and we think that each genre has its own dignity and its own strength. So we would like to know, what is your favorite B movie?
Favorite B movie? Oh wow, I like a lot of filmmakers, I don't really classify things that way. A movie's a movie is a movie. There's no hierarchy to me. But I did name my company after what's considered a top-notch B movie from the 40s, Detour, by Edgar Ulmer, the Austrian director who went to the U.S. and worked on Poverty Row and made a lot of cheap movies and some very good ones. So that's one I have to give a shout out to. But there's so many. I mean, I love genre B movies. I love national cinemas of certain eras, but I don't really distinguish that. I'm kind of, I love a good Italian crime film of the 70s like everybody else. Fernando Di Leo he's my guy.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh Lord, please don't. let me be misunderstood.